guys, it's Kate, and today we're here with a brand new segment of my video or booktube channel that I'm really excited to show you guys, and it's called Loved and Hated. So this is basically a segment where I talk about things, bookish things that I really love and things that I really hate. When I say hated, I mean like not in a it deserves to be burnt in a small pit located in Antarctica and have penguins peed on it kind of hate, but more in the general sense of it was weaker, I didn't like it as much, and it overall detracted from my overall score for the series. So today's segment is Twilight. Books in the series that I loved and books in the series that I hated. First book that I hated. Twilight, the first book. Here's my thing. We all want to be Bella Swan. I get that that was the point. It was a girl that everybody could relate to, but come on. How many times do we have to see the book where the super ordinary girl falls for the extraordinary, wonderful, oh my God, lose your freaking shit, hot guy? And Edward Robert Pattinson was a miscasting. I swear to God. And really, in reality, when does that ever happen? I know we all read to get away from reality, but seriously, that's a lie. That's a farce. You're perpetuating a farce by having that theme, okay? The other thing I didn't like is I love vampires. I love the vampires who are so seductive that you wouldn't imagine they're evil, but they're so seductive that they can't be anything but evil. I'm talking like the vampires in Laurel K. Hamilton's series, or even the Immortals After Dark. Even when they're pretending to be normal, they're still badasses. The vampires in Twilight sparkle. And they're vegetarian. They eat bunny rabbits. What the heck? I mean, seriously? You had a good thing, and then you just slammed it. The other book that I hated, because I'm doing this in order of the series, is New Moon. And this partly has to do with the book and the movie. Now, in the book, you know, there are those chapters where Bella, the entire Twilight is written basically as Bella's diary journal thing. So all of a sudden, you have all of these months that she goes without writing anything. And in the movie, they had that freaking scene. I mean, it was bad enough that she let a guy dictate how she feels enough to basically traumatize her and make her catatonic. But the movie had to be her sitting there going, it's the possibilities. See, if I did that in my house, people would be like, what's your problem? Get the heck up. You have work to do. There is no time to play. And I mildly resent the fact that every time you see a book or a movie and the guy breaks up with the girl, you always see the girl in this catatonic state, oh so broken-hearted, and you never get to see the guy in the same state. And I really don't think that's the case, that guys just get over breakups easier. I think it's just, you know, they want to protect their manly, macho reputation, so they just kind of nix those scenes in movies, be like, okay, let's just fast forward a couple of months where my guy friends probably like slip me some Viagra and be like, go get him, Tiger! Something like that. Anyway, but on to the books that I loved. I loved Eclipse. I think it was like the first book in the series where I was like, yes, now they're finally doing something on it. And that's because it had to deal with a theme that's very common but not trite, which is the vengeful or spurned woman who intends on killing everyone who had a hand in her lover's demise. And so in this case, we're talking about Victoria. And I love how cray-cray Victoria is, okay? I mean, most people, when someone kills your lover, you grieve, maybe go shout at them. She's a vampire, and she's a bad vampire. She is a real vampire. And she decided, you know what? You killed my one man. I'm gonna kill your entire family. And then after that, I'm gonna set my little minions loose on the entire town and eradicate any place you've ever lived. That is a badass vampire. She was good. It was a good theme with a good character who was doing what she was supposed to be doing. The other thing that I loved about the Eclipse is that there was that whole vampire versus shifter wolf thing, because, you know, Jacob and them are not really werewolves because they can shift whatever they want. I love the theme that she also included is that they come together to fend off a common enemy. Okay? As much as the shifters did not like the Cullens and the fact that he was filling up on Bella on the sly, possibly filling ideas of her turning into a vampire at the same time, they realized that there was a bigger threat, which was probably the extinction of all of orcs, and they were willing to meet up. As grudging as it was, they still got it done, and they finished the task. After that, they could be like, oh, I don't like you again. But you know what? It's comforting. If I was living in Forks, I would be very happy to know that the protectors of the town are willing to talk to each other when shit goes down. And I also love the end scene where Edward finally kind of mans up a little bit. It's a slight brief little period because after this it's gone again. But when he like taunts Victoria into coming back so that he can kill her, and I think this was done so well in the movies, especially because I'm not a big fan of Robert Pattinson, but that, like, the way that was filmed and the way that was written made me believe that Robert Pattinson could actually be a sort of weak-ass vampire, but suddenly find the strength and the motivation enough to vamp out and protect his family in a real and meaningful way, other than saying, Carla, what do I do now? Okay, moving on. And the other book, of course, which is the last book in the series, is Breaking Dawn. Now, I have to admit, Breaking Dawn was awesome, like, reading it, because I felt like this is when Bella grew up. Shit got real. She might have been married, and they go to Esme's island, and it's still sophomoric in a way, but she got pregnant with Renesmee, and then suddenly Bella has a reason to grow up. And maybe this was kind of a play on how Bella was raised by her really childish mother, but Bella was always so playing at being an adult, and I felt this is where in the book she really did become an adult, and she decided that she was willing to die for her child. Carrying the baby, fighting the Volturi for her baby, she was going to do it. And I also love the idea of the Volturi. I always love it. It's a very common theme. There's an overarching oppressor who wants to keep the man down, and they're always trying to make sure they stay the biggest and the baddest because they know, because they took over for someone else and obliterated them, that the tides can always turn. So I loved the whole concept of Volturi and the devious way that they acquire people with these powers to further subjugate their people. And I love Aro in the movies. Like, what? He is nuts, and I love it. I love crazy people and characters, maybe because I'm a little crazy myself, but oh my god, that Michael Sheen, I think his name is, percept like rendition of Arrow, and the little laugh thing that, oh my god, my voice is hoarse, so that like came out really bad. But that laugh that he had for Arrow was like on point, and like I was like, details. I love the details. And last thing is that poor Jacob, who'd been basically being strung along by Bella for 3 entire books. Actually longer than that, because they were making mud pies together when they were young, okay? For practically all his life, he's been strung along by Bella. Finally gets his girl. I know lots of people were like, oh my god, he's such a pedophile. Honestly, Jacob hadn't been a pedophile, because otherwise we would have heard reports up about Claire, and Quill would have kicked his ass like, why you eyeing up my girl? So really, guys, your mind went there, and that's your fault. It's not Stephenie Meyer's fault, and it's not the actor's fault. It's yours. So take a chill pill. But you know what? He finally gets his girl, and I loved how they get to grow together for some time, and they'll both stop aging at the same time. And I thought it was really nice for Stephenie Meyer to write Jacob's mate that way, because it had this nice progression that even though they're sort of really in separate places when she's born, with the speed at which she develops, at some point she'd catch up to where he is now. And then from a certain point, they would grow together. And that's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Anyway, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the first love and hate video. If you did, please like the video because I just want to get some feedback from y'all about it. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Which are your favorite Twilight books and which are your not so favorite Twilight books? And if you had elements or tropes or whatever, concepts in the book that, you know, just really peeved you or you really enjoyed, let me know that as well. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can see all the other new videos that I'm planning on doing. It's such a good month for me to get out all these ideas that I have and see how you guys react to them. So I will see you next time. All right, guys, bye.